Usually. Yes.
I'll have to abstain from the first two sets of minutes.
It's 7:30, but we can
Okay.
wait and see if it comes up for you if you'd like.
Okay, later.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's a little person there. Let me get that one.
Good sign.
Join the meeting.
Let's do it at the end. We can
Yeah,
try it.
we'll do it.
Yeah, it's 7:31. We'll call this Winnebago County Board of Adjustment deliberative session from November 9th, 2023 to order. The old business, I think what we're gonna do for us. Susan, you said September 26th, October 12th, you weren't here.
September 26th and October 12th, I would need to
Okay, so
abstain
we'll
from.
do those two separately from the first, or from the October 26th one. So is there any no business?
Crucial moves approval of the minutes from September 26th, public hearing, and October 12th, deliberative, all in 2023.
Okay, there's been a motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from September 26th, 2023 public hearing and the October 12th, 2023 deliberative. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Crucial moves approval of the minutes from October 26th, viewing 2023.
Motion to,
There's been a motion made seconded to approve the viewing from the October 26th, 2023. Motion made and seconded. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
aye.
All right, the one we have today is the one at Richard and Pamela Ames at 3270 Shore Drive in the town of Oshkosh. We want to put an addition onto their house on the east side, plus a greenhouse / ramp area to the south of the property with a setback of 20. So it's here about 21. Requesting a 20-foot setback versus the 30-foot setback that's required.
And before we begin, I do have correspondence from the town we now got.
Okay.
So let me read that in. This is town action for variance from the town of Oshkosh. They do have town findings. They did recommend approval. And I'm going to read the town findings / conditions. Bear with me, there's a few of them here. So the Board of Appeals recommends approval with the following findings. These are the minutes of the town of Oshkosh. Number one, the proposed setback variance maintains the permitted purpose of zone conformity and actually improves both road and side yard setbacks. Number two, conformity with the current setback standards would be unnecessary hardship based on the neighboring buildings, generally non-conformance with current setback standards. Number three, variance is consistent with the building and neighborhood usage and needs. Number four, the property and neighborhood has unique characteristics based on general nonconformity of the neighborhood setbacks due to the age of the neighborhood and the expanding of the road over time. Number five, due to legal nonconforming use of the existing home, this variance does not exacerbate further nonconformance. And number six, all neighbors concur with the proposed building plan. Winnebago County has been provided a copy of these signed concurrences. And that's all.
There were no conditions.
They, for
They just-
conditions, they wrote same as above. So findings, refer to the town of Oshkosh minutes attached of November 1st special town board meeting. And then conditions were same as above.
Well, this, this one is kind of unique in a lot of ways. I don't know if you remember when we were out there that, their garage right now is what, 6 feet from the setback? And I don't know when that garage was built, but it was obviously, prior to any of the required setbacks earlier. And this house has been added on to several times. You know, as far as now this is just my opinion, as far as the hardships go, I mean, you know, you look at the layout with the 4-car garage and where the existing entrance going to the house is there. I mean, as far as they needed to have a ramp, you know, a ramp to be built there inside the garage, and you still have plenty of garage space, because you got two-car garages basically. And then the addition, you know, with the first floor lobby and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, there's plenty of room on the west side of the house there behind the garage to put an addition on. That would not be an issue at all as far as setbacks go. You know, but you know, and then in the same breath, you know, I guess, and this is my opinion, you know, what you hate to see, you know, they got all the bedrooms on the second floor, and you hate to see that down the road, they maybe have to leave their home because of access to the second floor, the bedroom, basically. So, you know, there's a lot of ways to look at the same, but again, you know, what it always boils down to in my mind is just one question, you know, what's the hardship here? You have other options.
I would like to state, as for the ramp, now I know it's come up a number of times, the ADA stuff, that is all allowed without a variance. With just our general zoning office, the state requires us to have things in our ordinance that allow ADA requirements.
So they could put the ramp in without being enclosed and it would not fall in the setback.
As long as they meet our zoning standards, and the zoning administrator agrees with it, yes, they would be allowed a ramp.
So then, if that is the case, because that greenhouse area is 9 feet 9 inches, they wouldn't be within the 30 or be outside the 30-foot setback on the road. With that bedroom addition and longer.
Yeah, the only thing on staff's view that is within the 30-foot setback is the proposed greenhouse and the foyer. So those are the only two items that are within the 30-foot
But isn't
setback.
that foyer there already? I believe it is.
If it is, it may be.
So they had a bump out there. Remember we looked at that? They had a
There's,
bump
right,
out there.
there's a bump up there.
Right here, that was already there. That's not part of the addition, I don't believe.
And it does appear that the second floor, the bedrooms, don't appear to be over that greenhouse, so.
No,
No.
Yeah.
No, but what I mean is that, you know, that.
Yeah, that foyer may be
That's
there.
there already,
If it is, then yeah.
yeah.
so did they really even need a variance to do the,
They needed a variance only because of the greenhouse section.
Yeah,
right,
So,
and
yeah, so,
if they can do the ramp without the greenhouse?
right, because I understood the ramp to be part of the structure, but if it's not with the ADA.
Yeah, and
requirements,
if you give me a moment here, I can look
I
up
think-
the ADA stuff.
That the ramp was down the road sometime
Yeah,
and they
Yeah,
were
that's
just,
not what.
that
they're
was
asking
just
for.
gonna be provided the
Right.
space for it,
Right,
Yeah.
using it as a greenhouse
Right.
now.
right.
They should have done it the other way. That it's a ramp
Yeah,
and we're
they-
just gonna use it
yeah.
as a greenhouse for the time being.
But I
well, yeah,
mean,
but then it would be a structure and it wouldn't be a ramp and it wouldn't be,
The ramp would be inside the structure when they do put it there, right?
eventually, if they.
Okay, right, right.
So
Okay,
they're keeping the ramp from having snow on it or ice on it.
Mhm.
And again, if that ramp is an issue, I mean, they got plenty of room right here. to Put a ramp inside the garage,
Right,
you know, which, I mean,
yeah,
right, and you would think that would make more sense to have it inside the garage going into the house.
well, if you ever saw the junk they got in their garage, you'd say, no,
Well,
because they
you
park
know,
their
hey,
vehicles
that's-
outside.
Oh, well then, that's another
I'm just
issue that
kidding.
has
That's-
nothing to do with us.
I struggle though with the fact that it already has a substandard setback at 6 feet, the structure, and it's gonna have that when it's done.
I mean,
If
with the
they-
garage.
With the garage, you know, that, and given the findings of the town, I happen to agree with a lot of them, if not all of them, that they're making the situation better by taking away the other house.
Mhm.
The neighborhood itself is kind of built like this.
Hey,
That whole section of houses right where they are.
right on
anyway,
that,
On
on
the
that,
loop.
on the loop, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's difficult to.
You're right, the other section's not so much.
But they still could have the addition and they'd still take the house out. It isn't the addition that's the problem,
It's
it's
just
the
the
greenhouse.
Right.
That's, they could do everything.
Oh,
except-
yeah, I know.
But
I
as
spent a
far
lot
as a
of time
ramp
thinking
is
about it.
concerned, can you have a ramp enclosed that doesn't require
A variance.
a variance?
As long as it meets whatever standards we have, the ADA standards, I'm not sure if you
Oh,
can
you don't
allow it
know that.
enclosed
So-
or not. But
so-
that's, the ramp is not what is on the paper here, it's only the greenhouse.
Right.
So at a later date, if they so choose and they want to have, you know, a nice big beautiful ramp, and then they want to come back in for a variance and say, hey, this is what we want. The zoning office didn't allow us to do this, we're asking for something outside the limits, they're welcome to do so. But as it stands now, it's just the greenhouse, and if the foyer's there already, then it's just the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And that's all this comes down to.
When they applied for this, did they,
We,
you explain this? Okay,
Explain.
I'm sure you
Staff-
did, but I didn't want to hear
staff
it.
did explain, hey,
Okay.
this is not a good variance request, there are other opportunities for the
Yeah.
property, and they chose to continue on, so.
Hmm.
Well, basically, we could just flat out deny this and be done with it, and they could still put the addition on the house without any problems, without
That is-
having a variance at all.
That is correct, minus the greenhouse.
Because I think I don't think, no matter what we do or what, even if we deny the whole work, say you can't do any of it, they're still gonna tear that house down and do a CSM, because his point was he wants to have his son build on the lot next to him down the road, so they're
Yeah.
gonna split those lots.
Yeah.
So that's not even an issue.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and that'd be up to them
Yeah.
whether they do that or
Yeah.
not, so.
So it boils down to the greenhouse?
Mhm.
Was that the reasoning why staff denied the?
Yes,
You know, you'd like to be able to have people do what they want with their property. I mean, that's, you know, and like you said, nobody really cares.
I mean,
Really appreciating your comments because my head is in one place and my heart is in
I
another.
know,
place on
I
this
know,
one.
it's like,
Oh,
And my head says we have to find for all three of these. And certainly they've got someplace else they can put an addition. So that's the one we can't agree to. Fact that you're telling me that they can still improve their property without having this variance is helpful.
yeah, I'm just saying that is number 2 is the hard, you just can't get around that.
it's not a hardship.
Yeah, unless the ADA requirements allow for an enclosure over a ramp.
but even then, this is a straight up greenhouse, not a. enclosed,
Yeah, it's
you know.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just.
It's gonna be a glassed in, is it? It's a
Yeah.
greenhouse, I would.
I'm not
assume
sure, and
it's
I would
glass.
like to note that there is a portion to the west of the existing house.
This is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be
Wow.
basically
Well, that's
windows,
like a 3 seasons. home.
pretty much. Yeah, it
But
is.
but it's looking out on the road.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's.
so it's like a mud room with
Yeah,
windows.
so it's gonna be frame structure with windows.
It would be possible for them to get their bedrooms on the first floor and their
Mhm.
laundry room on the first floor by building behind and the other side of the house.
Well, no,
Yeah, so they
have-
still, This is not the issue, because they can still do this.
Right
without
there.
On
variance,
that side.
Yeah.
Right where they wanna do it. The variance is for this right here. It's- 'cause this will be 30, because this is already.
It's
Yes.
32 years
It's like 31, 32 feet. They have,
Okay.
you know, they were gonna be set back, so the addition with the bedroom really is not even an issue in my mind.
Yeah,
It's-
I have on the site plan here, I have about 20 feet. And then I have 20 and some change, and then I have the greenhouse width being about 9 foot 9 inches, so
Yeah,
that's gonna put them almost flush with their proposed craft room.
Mhm.
And that greenhouse could be located on the far west side of the structure as well. Um, on the side of the kitchen, family room, dinette, and screen porch. So,
And would that be a southern exposure then?
On
Might
where?
be better if
On
it
where?
if it
No,
was over
no,
here on
it
this
won't.
side.
southwest.
They could put it right on the east side of the house if they wanted to. Because they're gonna make it a lot bigger than what it is. I mean, they got an option there
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
they
They
gotta
could put it
see
over
a
here if they
sound.
wanted to,
Yeah, you're right.
and not have an issue at all.
As drawn, the ramp inside the greenhouse was entering the existing door. It would not enter into the addition
Right,
at all.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be two different things, the ramp out over on this side, and the greenhouse over on this side. If they truly want a
if they choose
greenhouse.
to do that, they could do that.
Because they haven't done the CSM yet, they can just make it big enough to cover for the space for the greenhouse, right?
Yeah, I think they were.
When you say they haven't done the CSM, are you implying that they haven't submitted it yet?
Right. They have not submitted the CSM.
Yeah,
yet,
so
have
if
they?
you guys do decide to approve this, you'd have to have a condition on this stating that it's contingent upon the existing CSM
Existing CSM.
or
On
It-
proposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
future CSM.
Future CSM. excuse me.
Because it isn't even proposed yet, is it? There's
I think-
nothing in,
I think we do have it. I'm not
Okay.
sure, though.
Well, they got,
I
they
thought
got it
they
right
said they
here.
didn't.
Well, actually,
My question at the public hearing was, has it been approved? And the answer was no. So we
No.
didn't-
Right.
we didn't go into submission. at all.
Okay.
No. So they could always, I mean, if they're, if they did they couldn't put that greenhouse addition on that east side without a variance based on their proposed property line, because it'd be too close. So they have to change it, but that's not our problem.
Yeah,
If they decided they could change the CSM from the
Right,
setbacks. See right here?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's where
because
the
they've got,
proposed property line
yeah.
is. You got
Mhm.
7 foot side yard setback, so that would not be enough room.
yeah,
Mhm.
The 7 foot is fine, but.
yeah. With their proposed CSM, they'd be meeting that side yard setback, so.
Yeah.
And I just would like to just make one more note that looking at this site plan, the overall site plan, it does look like 30-foot setback does slightly encroach into that craft room or laundry room, I guess, but only by maybe a couple inches or maybe a foot at max. If you look at the actual site plan, you can see the dotted line.
That's right there too.
So would we have to say that that is,
I mean, or
that
they
is
could,
okay
or
and
they
the other
could
part
shorten,
isn't?
or they could shorten the. They could shorten what they're proposing by a couple
Uh-huh.
inches or feet to meet that setback.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do have a little bit of area between the existing back of the house and the water too. Because a 75-foot setback does not come flush to the back of their house or their proposed addition. I know that's a pain for construction purposes, but
20,
Yeah.
it'd be 29 feet, 10 3/4 inches.
yeah, so they're inches,
Is what it would be.
yeah,
How much?
29 feet, 10
10
3/4
and
inches.
3/4 inches.
So they're looking at.
An inch and a quarter.
We give them variance for an inch and a quarter. But
Well, they also have a screen porch on the back end that they could enclose. Could they enclose? Yeah, because it's already, the footprint's already there. If they wanted to enclose that screen porch,
I mean, it looks
like
like
they're doing the greenhouse.
covered porch, it looks like they are doing a covered porch in the back there that abuts
yeah,
right up
that's
to the
past.
75-foot setback, so.
Yeah, that's past this, but they have another screen
Oh, yeah,
porch over
yep.
here.
They do.
Correct, yeah.
I don't know. You'd like to see them be able to do what they want, and it's farther back than a lot of the other properties there. I don't know.
Over and
It's
over
hard.
and over again, I keep hearing you all say they can do something else.
Well,
Reason, like,
we could still give them, well, yeah, they can move that back. I mean, they have options. They don't need to have a variance here, in my mind,
Mhm.
just because they have plenty, they can move that back or just cut an inch and a quarter off of their proposal, and it's not gonna hurt nothing. So they still got.
not put siding on it, he's got it covered.
There you go, yeah, there you go. But, it's, and as far as that a ramp goes, I mean, to me, that's a non-issue because the garage was situated right there now. I mean, I've seen many times where they got ramps inside of garages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for people to get in the house in a wheelchair. So it's not, that's a non-starter in my mind.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it could, yeah.
And as for that inch and whatever that they're under,
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate survey grade material could be. I'm sure it's down to the centimeter or millimeter or inch, but
Yeah.
staff can always go out and verify that where their 30-foot line should start,
Yeah.
because that does lie with the county. We can set that.
Yeah. So without anything at all, complete denial, they can still do exactly what they want, except having that
Minus the green.
minus the greenhouse. Yeah.
And
I'm sure
depending
they-
on that flare, I don't know if that flare was gonna increase its size. I wasn't clear on that, but
It kind of looks like it does. That bump out wasn't that big. And what is it? I can't even read the
wait,
numbers there on that bump.
here's the bigger one. Yeah, I think it's
Over here, yeah, it shows,
9 feet out. Matches the greenhouse by, what's that, 5 feet or 6 feet?
it's about,
6.
6
Yeah,
feet,
6.
7 inches.
you know, something, but, I was just looking at it says, what does that say?
Yeah,
Flush,
6 feet 7
bearing
inches.
to hold existing roof structure. So that bump out there is not that, not that.
Yeah.
Wide.
That wide.
It's,
Yeah.
looks like it's only a couple feet maybe,
Right.
which is there now.
Yeah.
But with it doesn't make a difference because without that greenhouse.
Right.
It just
Doesn't matter, right.
Yeah, they wouldn't be bringing it out. Yeah. So the whole thing, the whole public hearing, the focus on it was the bedrooms, the downstairs bedrooms, which really wasn't part of the variance anyway. That's kind of interesting.
No.
It's kind of like,
Yes and no, I mean, without that inch and a quarter.
Well,
Other than that, it really is.
yeah,
not-
but
it's a-
you
it's
know,
not an
yeah,
issue.
inch and a quarter was not an issue, so it was like, we were hearing a sob story and something that really didn't need a
Right.
variance, you know, and I don't, that's.
Well, it's true. I think.
Crucial move denial.
A motion made to deny the request of a 20-foot setback from the street yard or street side setback. Is there a second to the motion?
Come on, I did call it. Crickets.
Did you know that song is called Think?
Is it?
It was originally written by Merv Griffin for a lullaby for his son called A Time for Tony. We just had that at trivia. Just thought I'd-
Okay, thank you for that. Is there a second to the motion? Is there a second to the motion?
If you were going to be voting, would you second it?
I would.
You just don't want it on paper. You just don't want your name on there for the neighbor.
And I would just like to state a
I'm sorry.
second does not mean one way or another. It just brings the
Just brings
motion
it
to the table
Yep.
Things goes up to the table. Yeah, you're right.
per Robert's Rules of Order.
Well, I will second it.
There's another motion made and seconded for denial to the variance request of 20 feet from the street yard setback. Any
And now we're
discussion?
supposed to do the discussion, right?
Further discussion? Mhm.
All of her comments led to the fact that they do not need this variance.
I'll tell you, that's
My heart is elsewhere. but That's where the head has to
You
go.
know,
Well, in the neighborhood, I mean, everything is up that far or further, and it's gonna be like, well, why can't we do it?
but that's the problem. You know, we can't be
I
making
know.
decisions that's gonna come back to bite us down the road. I mean, everyone's individual. I understand that. But people will hang their hat on that, you know, so, well, you did this, you know, he gave him a variance, and we've denied variances like this before, you know, case in point, that one up in the town of Menasha with that, solarium that they wanted to do a few years back, remember? With,
Yeah.
On the
with,
side yard?
Thunderland,
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, just because they didn't need to have it there. It's-
The one that has
No.
been haunting me since I looked at this was when we made the person move his garage that he had put up without getting a permit.
and that was way out in the country.
Oh, that still
That
bothers
one,
me.
that one haunts me all the time because all it was a little a farmer's
A
ditch.
ditch.
A ditch.
You
Yeah,
know,
that one,
Yeah, but we don't make the rules, we just
I
gotta buy them.
remember it
So
well.
You always gotta keep that in mind.
but, well, if, we wouldn't be needed if, you know, if they could just deny it. And, you know, just based on, there is no hardship, there isn't, we're the ones that are supposed to say, oh, is there extenuating circumstances? Or, you know, should it be different? You
And
know,
in this case, there's not to have a greenhouse. They're just not.
there is not
You know, I don't
yeah,
have,
yeah.
most people don't have a greenhouse.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, there are other places even to put the greenhouse. I mean, that's,
Right.
yeah, so. Yeah, okay, I'm
And-
done with it, I guess.
It was my understanding that the greenhouse was there simply to make sure that the ramp would
Could be
be
enclosed
Here.
eventually.
and dry.
And that can be done through the garage,
You
you
can't-
know, and
Yeah,
maybe
most
we
are.
explain that, you know, through the,
We don't have to.
well, I know, but we, you know,
You're of course welcome to add any findings you would like
yeah, we can,
on either end, whichever way you guys go.
yeah, we can say findings that,
Yeah, you're right.
that it is still possible for them to have the bedrooms and the laundry room that they want, with an approved
Right.
CSM.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's part of the motion or they just added later, really?
I believe it's as part of the motion
Yeah, and we'll do that.
You read it, yeah, you
Applicant-
read them in before you go
before we
on.
vote on it,
Findings?
yeah. Mhm.
So right fast, so.
Okay, applicant will have ability to construct first floor bedroom. Laundry room. And bathroom, I guess that's in there too.
Mhm.
First floor bedroom, bath. And laundry room. With approved CSM. With an approved CSM. Okay, a ramp. And greenhouse. Or there are other. How do we want to put the part about the ramp and the greenhouse? If
I
there
don't
are
know if
other,
I'd put anything about that. So they just have other options for a ramp if so desired.
In the first finding, it says the applicants have reasonable use of the property without the proposed greenhouse foyer
Yeah,
house
Yeah.
additions, which encroaches
Yeah.
within the street yard setback.
exactly.
And
okay,
Findings in number 2 seem to repeat that.
Mhm.
okay, so for the first one, finding, its applicant will have ability to construct first floor bedroom, bath, and laundry room with an approved CSM. Second finding, there are other options for the ramp and greenhouse. On the current, it is current property, what would it
Well,
be
yeah, I
on
would just leave it at that. Where it was.
the property? Okay.
Okay.
I feel better just explaining why we said no. I didn't realize we could do findings. We learned something new.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to deny the applicant's request for a 20-foot street yard setback. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, findings for denial.
Would it be appropriate for Sue to read the first two?
I don't think it makes any difference.
Okay, findings for denial.
Mhm.
If you could read the criteria first too.
Yeah,
Right,
please.
criterion advisory findings.
Okay.
Chapter 23, 7-234, basis of decision required for chapter 23 town county zoning code, chapter 26 floodplain zoning code, and chapter 27 shoreland zoning code. Number one, the requirement in question would unreasonably prevent the property owner from using the property for a permitted purpose or would render conformity with such requirement unnecessarily burdensome, and such circumstances were not self-created. The applicants have reasonable use of the property without the proposed greenhouse foyer house additions, which encroaches within the street yard setback, because the applicant will have the ability to construct first floor bedroom, bath, and laundry room with an approved CSM. Second criteria, the subject property has unique physical characteristics or limitations that prevent the property from being developed in compliance with the requirement in questions. The applicant's property has other areas where the proposed greenhouse foyer house and ramp can be placed to meet the street yard setback. Criteria 3, the granting of the variance will not be contrary to or harm the public interest given the general purposes of the zoning regulations and the specific purposes of the requirement in question. Approval of this variance will establish a precedent to allow variances that do not meet the required variance criteria. Based upon the above findings, it is the opinion of the board that all criteria of Article 7, Division 12, Section 23, 7-234, Town County Zoning Code have not been met.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay, there's a motion made seconded to deny the variance request of 20 feet from the street yard setback. Are there any additions or corrections to the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Susan?
Aye.
Tom? Aye. Tom? Senior? Tom Senior?
Aye.
Motion made and seconded. Motion carries for denial as requested. Next thing up on the.
Sue, before we continue, can I get your written
Oh,
findings there too? Just so we can copy them
my
down.
little scribbles on the bottom.
Put them anywhere. We'll look at it later.
Let's see, it's, yeah, starts there, the applicant.
Okay, next thing up on the agenda is
You can
the
read cursive?
approval of the, he's not that young, is the approval of the 2024 calendar.
Need a motion?
Yeah, I mean, just from a personal standpoint, there was a couple dates here that I won't be able to be there, but I mean, that's just the way it always is for everybody, so.
Okay.
um,
If
Yeah,
you-
probably.
If you guys know of any alternates or anybody who would like to be on the board, please
Really?
have them contact us. Yeah, we need one more person just for an alternate
So
or two.
the other
Larry might-
gentleman isn't coming back? or
No, Larry Creature is now off.
Is he okay?
I am not sure. From what I've heard, no, but
Oh.
he
Can
requested.
Are we
Board.
able to go off the record?
Let's finish up this motion on the calendar. Is there a motion to approve the calendar for 2024?
So moved.
Second,
Then a motion made and seconded to approve the 2024 Board of Adjustment meeting schedule. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. That's it, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
second,
Or you gotta make the
oh,
first.
motion, that's so moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the meeting for today. All in favor of the meeting, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody else? wanna say
So
aye?
before you close that down, can I try to get that?
Motion carries.
We're still on is everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
Aye. We're-
Oh,
Motion carries.
I said aye, you guys didn't.